That moon hits your eyes like a big pizza pie of tomorrow. When the stars start to shine like you've had too much wine, that's tomorrow. Bells will ring, 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 ring. You sing la la la. Stars will play, dippy dippy day, dippy dippy day.
That song was Time Won't Let Me, recorded at the end of 1965. It was a big hit in 1966, the height of the Beatles. It was recorded by our friend Sonny Geraci back in Cleveland, our hometown. I'm out here in Las Vegas visiting my old friend Jerry Tiffe from Bedford High. Remember that, Jerry?
Yeah, I do remember that.
You went to school there, or did they throw you out? You graduated?
No, came close.
Came close, but you graduated.
I graduated, yes I did.
And since he graduated, see, Time Won't Let Me, Jerry backed up Sonny Geraci and the Outsiders on that song.
Well, we had a singing group at the time.
What was the name of your group?
We were called the Fortunes.
The Fortunes?
And later on we became the Magic Times.
And you did have some of your own success. You had your own 45s on, was it Mallow Records?
Aunt Mala.
Yeah. They had Bell and Amy.
Amy Mala Bell
yeah.
was the company.
The blue with the silver writing. Jerry, you've even written some songs such as Happy Feet.
Happy Feet Night.
Yeah.
Carl Maduri owned the melody, the music. It was called Happy Feet Time. It was an instrumental. And Carl Maduri had a record with that. And he said, why don't you write some lyrics and we'll do it again. We called it Happy Feet Night. And we did that, and I got a little play. And
it got on the charts, didn't it?
Yeah, we got on a label.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was Sam Maluso, Tony Maluso, Sam Lombardo, Ruf Stefano, and me.
Now, it sounds to me like it was an Italian group. Am I right? If it was an Italian group?
I was going to say it was all Irish guys.
But here we are at the Italian American Club in Las Vegas. It sounds like you might have left Bedford, but you didn't leave the Italians.
No, I didn't leave the Italians.
So you didn't go too far, actually. I thought, 2,000 miles, but not really.
Well, because the guys that own this are from Cleveland.
Wait a minute. Any names I would recognize?
Jimmy Gerard. And he and my partner named Ben Spano, who's from Buffalo, which I worked in Buffalo many years. They both own this nightclub inside the Italian American Club. So it's a nightclub here at the Italian American.
Did you know them back in Cleveland?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Not really. I really didn't know.
You knew of
well.
them?
I knew of them, yeah. Well, Benny was from Buffalo.
Okay.
So, but I met all those guys when I moved out here. And so we stayed friends, I've been here almost 40 years.
Yeah, you came out here in 1978, so that's 40 years in just a few months.
Me, myself, and Tom Sanfilippo, he was my keyboard player for 40 years.
Where did he go to school?
He went to Chanel.
Chanel?
Yeah, he went to school in the city. I forget what grade school, but he ended up, I think, at Chanel.
Now you graduated in 66, I graduated in 67. What year did he graduate? Was he ahead of us?
66. He was
same year as you. So, after you were recording and backing up people like the Outsiders and making your own records,
yeah.
What did you do for those years from 66 until 78, 12 years before you came out to Vegas? It's a pretty big leap for a young man to say, I'm leaving Cleveland, I'm going to Vegas. What did you do in that time?
I got a job with the Headliners. It was a band that Joey Sigliano was his band. His father was the head of the musicians union, Mike Sigliano. So I auditioned for Joey, the headliners. I got the job, and I went into a band. I had a singing group. Now I went into a band.
So instead of fronting for a vocal group, now you're fronting for a full band.
It was a band, and we worked at the Agora and the Plato in the college days back in the late '60s.
Then I'd seen you performing there.
Yeah, and I mean we were always there, and there'd be like Grand Funk Railroad would come, and different groups would come, but we'd be like the house band on Friday or Saturday. I think it was Friday at the Plato, Saturday at the Agora. So we worked both of those places.
You're playing at the Agora now in the evenings. What are you doing during the day? Do you have a day job or no? Is this legal?
See, I'm 17, 18 years old. What am I doing during
Well,
the day?
you're 19, 20. You're going
We
to
used to
school?
hang around Northfield Bowling Alley
Okay.
and Ambassador Bowling Alley, and we hung around, shooting pool and hanging around.
So your source of income really was your singing
I was
career.
making $25 a night. I bought a TR6, beautiful, white, and that was my first car. The payment was $150 a month.
Convertible?
Convertible. I was working at the Agora and the Plato, And then after that, I went, one day I walked into a place, the Royal Las Vegas. The Royal Las Vegas, I think was the name of it. It was on Broadway, and Gene LaMarca was a famous keyboard player, and he owned it. And I went in there, and I never did standards, so I started singing with him. And
You were singing rock and roll.
yeah, we singing, rock and roll or whatever.
Motown.
Motown, stuff like that. And Gene, I started learning. I had a fake book, Girl from Ipanema. And then the busboy was Mitch Renko, which is nephew. He was about 16 years old. He says, stop emptying garbage and come on up on the drums. The kid started playing the drums, which was pretty good. And this other guy, John DeCaro, that he brought in, so we had a little quartet. And we worked on there for a few times, and then we got a job. We got suits with matching ties. And we worked at the Ramada Inn on the corner of 271 and
Euclid Avenue.
90. Is that where
Euclid Avenue.
Yeah.
That's where 271, 90 come together
Right, that's it.
over Euclid Avenue.
That was it. And after that,
What year are we talking?
That's got to be 70, about 1970. I remember we did the whole week. I was singing with a microphone plugged into a guitar amp, and Gene was on. He was a great organ player, and the place was jammed. It was a lounge.
Yeah.
And after that week, Gene comes over and says, "Here's your pay." He gives me an envelope. I'm sitting on the break, so I open up the envelope. There's $150 cash, and I said, "What's this?" Just like that. And he went, "What's the matter? It's not enough?" I'll never forget it. I said, "Not enough?" I said, "You mean I can make this in my pay? I get this for singing?" And it was like, my God, this is more money than my dad was making. And I just went, forget about working at the Agora, with all that stuff. I mean, I'm getting into this business. And it was, Tom Jones was happening then, Engelbert Humperdinck. So I was singing all that. I was young and covering all those tunes, and then Gene and I went our own ways, and I got a hip little group together. Tom Sanfilippo, Mitch Renko, Jeff Gould, Ronnie Ferrantino, who sings in Cleveland, and John DeCaro. And we started working at the we're working at the Shangri-La out in Euclid Avenue, way out 305, and we packed the place. And then we started going on the road.
305 in Euclid Avenue.
There was a place called the Shangri-La. The lake was on the other side of the street. The lake.
Oh, then you're on the south side.
I would have been on the south side.
Okay.
Shangri-La was in a shopping center.
Oh, I know the shopping.
Ray Nero.
Oh yeah.
Ray Nero owned it. He
That
was a
big
great
shopping.
guy.
I know the shopping center. Yeah.
Just started making money and started traveling. We started going to Pennsylvania, Boston, and on the road, and man, it was like we actually worked. No kidding, 52 weeks a year. Back then, when we came home, we worked at the John Quagliata's White House.
White House. Yeah.
I mean, I remember when if something happened on the road, I could say, John, something happened on the road. Can we come back home? He says, come on back home. Just start driving back. I said, but you got a group there. He said, don't worry about it. They'll be gone when you get here. And we stayed working for about 5 years, at least 3 to 5 years, without a break.
Now, you're making good money.
Yeah.
When did you decide that this was for you? Were you 8 years old? You wanted to be a singer? Very.
Well, I sang since I was a kid.
Tell me, where
When
did
I
you
was
start?
small.
Where, in
I
church?
was scared. At night, I'd go to sleep, and maybe on the weekends, my mom and dad would go out. I remember looking at them through upstairs the window. They were leaving, and my grandparents were there.
Babysitting.
And I'd be scared of hearing things, the boogeyman, the boogeyman. And I would rock back and forth like this, and I'd rock. A real serious thing, man. My head was like this.
That was your therapy.
And I'd sing. I did that till I was about 16.
Oh no!
When I started sleeping with girls, I stopped rocking, you know what I mean? But
I don't
up
need
to
to
that
know
time,
that. I don't need to hear about that. Listen.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I remember going to school, Bedford High. I'd have such a hard time at school because I was a wise guy, you know what I mean? And the older guys, you'd have to watch who was walking down the hall. They'd pick on you, you know? And I remember going home, man, going in my bedroom, putting on the Johnny Mathis records and laying there and just singing along
Chances
with
are,
Johnny.
chances
I
are.
know every song by Johnny Mathis. And when I was with the Headliners, their manager was Larry Morrow was a disc jockey. And I got involved with Larry. And Larry was writing a lot of commercials, him and his wife, and they were writing songs. So I started doing that, even though the band, they went there, the band broke up or something happened. But I kept doing it, and I did signed with Scepter Records with Larry Morrow. He wrote a song, Pammy Joe, and Hey What You Doing? And I went with that, got that going, and started opening shows down at we opened the State Theater. They refurbished it. We were the first act, Cheetah Rivera, and I was there with the Al Russ Orchestra. And then we opened the Palace Theater downtown, first opening, after been refurbished. We did that, and I said to myself, I got to do this, opening shows, I want to go to Vegas. And the acts, like Cheetah Rivera's brother, was her manager. He says, why don't you go to Las Vegas? And as we were opening, doing things, I met Pat Cooper and Myron Cohen, and they said, why don't you go to Las Vegas, And eventually we packed up, canceled some work, and moved to Las Vegas, and we auditioned at the...
So you came to Vegas without the promise of a job?
No, we came to Vegas with no job.
But just the desire to make it.
But I had 3 kids, wife, a house, out in Munson Township, nice house, beautiful. And packed up and went there, went to Vegas.
Now, what did your wife say when you said, dear, we're going to...
She was always supportive.
Oh, wow. Good for
She
you.
was always supportive, go. And I remember calling her and said, I was going to come home. I was working 2 days a week in Las Vegas. I was going to go home. And Walter Kane was the entertainment director for all SUMA. Sands Hotel, Desert Inn Hotel, Frontier Hotel. He says, stay. Just stay. I'll get you something. And I was about ready to go home, and I get a call. He said, Jerry, Sonny King has just quit the lounge at the Sands.
Introducing my junior partner, Sonny King.
Please welcome Mr. Sonny King, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is.
If I didn't care more than words.
We're signing you up for a 5-year contract. It's like Sands Hotel, Las Vegas.
You 5 years?
Me, 5-year contract. I had a brand new house back in Munson. We built it. Beautiful English Tudor. And I called my wife, I said, you got to sell the house. You know? And she moved out with the kids, and it's been hell ever since.
Wait, we got this on video.
Sure.
I can erase that.
She didn't realize how she had a big family. They're all firemen and policemen, you know, Irish. Don Flanagan, you know what I mean? So she moved out here, man, and it was like we didn't know any doctors, any barbers, any dentists. You know what I mean? It was a whole different world. It was very hard for Dawn.
Yeah.
You know, that's a whole nother story.
Oh, well, that's chapter 2.
Yeah,
We'll get to that.
But she's a great girl.
Good for you. But having a wife that supports you, that is
3
so,
kids,
so important.
Claudia, my oldest, Carrie, and Jerry, the twins. And they're all doing well.
Out here? They're all out here?
Carrie is in Hawaii. My wife is in Hawaii. My grandson is in Hawaii. My son is in Hawaii. My mother is here with me, and my nephew and my daughter Claudia. We're here.
Where are they in Hawaii?
They're on the island of Oahu,
Where?
on the North Shore.
North Shore, near what?
My wife,
I used to live there
Okay.
years ago.
they're right across the street
Have a beach?
from 3 Tables Beach.
Waimea Bay?
Waimea Bay is right there.
Yeah.
The next one is 3 Tables.
Oh my God.
Pipeline, Sunset, all along that bike path. They're right across the street. My little grandson wakes up and goes surfing before he goes to school. He's been surfing since he was 3. His father was a professional surfer back in the 90s. So that's fun.
I was there in the 70s. I was stationed in the Army there, up at Schofield.
Schofield.
Yeah.
That's Army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where From Here to Eternity was filmed. Hawaii, I love the place. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really nice people.
You get up, it's paradise. I mean, paradise.
Yeah, nice people.
Yeah.
They're so nice. Yeah, so, and I met a lot of friends there. You know, I go once a couple times a year.
Yeah. Yeah. But your business is here, and it's been here for 4 decades.
Yeah,
You really can't leave the business and go live in paradise.
I'm having a good time right now because I was on the Strip for 20 years. And then I was local hotels.
Now, you say the Strip. For people that don't know
Las Vegas Strip, you know,
Okay.
from
Well,
the
people, not everybody
Tropicana,
knows, okay?
You know, Desert Inn, the Frontier, the MGM, the Tropicana, the Sands Hotel, you know, the Frontier Hotel, all the hotels on the Strip. And I was very fortunate for 20 years, 20 some years.
Now, when I hear those names, the Flamingo and Tropicana, I think of the Rat Pack.
Yeah, well, they were here before I got here.
Well, I understand that. They arrived ahead of you, on the boat ahead of you. But did you ever get to know them? Did you ever get to meet them?
I met everybody.
Did you ever meet Dean Martin?
No. Good eye. Because you probably know he's a hard guy to meet. But I met Sinatra, which was a great night. Wayne Newton, we were good friends because I worked at the Sands. He was at the Sands all the time. So we were doing the party for Wayne Newton. And he just bought the Aladdin Hotel. And I was doing I had you know, from the senator and the governor, happy birthday, Wayne. You know, I'm practicing. And I'm walking in the hall, the waiters are setting everything up, and I hear this voice at a porta bar. A porta bar. There's a bartender there, and the guy turns around, and there's nobody there but a bartender and the waiters and the band, you know, waiting for the people to come in. It's Frank Sinatra. you know, he turned around and looked at me. I went, the most beautiful, let me tell you, I had to say something, because you see him on TV, Frank Sinatra, this and that. When he turned around, his eyes were so blue. They were, I've never seen eyes like
Hey,
that.
I sure
listen, Tom, I'm not kidding. They were so outstanding. You meet a lot of people. You see their faces, their eyes. I said, my God, no wonder they called him Old Blue Eyes. And later on that evening, I went back to the guys. I said, you're not going to believe who's out. Frank Sinatra's out there. And we had to sing. And we didn't do one Frank Sinatra song in the whole night. Because...
You couldn't. No,
I'm not going to sing one of his songs. So I did all the stuff, all the contemporary stuff. And I came over to his table, and Walter Kane was there, and he said, I said, Mr. Kane, can you introduce me to Frank? He's sitting right next to him and Barbara. He said, yes, Frank, I want you to meet our boy from the Sands. Jerry, he stood up, he took his napkin off, he says, he said, you got a good read there. I said, thank you, Mr. Sinatra. I wish somebody would have taken, because they had a camera girl. And
see, when you're living history like that, you don't think of recording it, or you don't have the opportunity.
Yeah, you're so,
Yeah. All right, so you got to meet Frank.
Met Frank, Sammy, and
Sammy. Where did you meet Sammy?
I met Sammy in Cleveland. We were doing a function, and he was, I think, at Music Carnival or something.
He was at the front row. He opened the
front row.
He opened the front row theater.
You're right, at the front row. Right. Music Carnival. That's how far back I go.
Were you at the front row when he opened it?
No. I was singing.
My buddy was the security director for many years, chief of police up in Highland Heights. When Sammy Davis Jr. opened the front row theater, there were death threats made against him. My friend Jim Cook, I've known Jim since 1966 when he graduated from high school, St. Joe's. He was security director and chief of police in Highland Heights. There were death threats made against Sammy Davis Jr. They had to play the entire concert with the house lights up, security guards at every aisle, because he was threatened to be killed.
What time is it?
Oh!
I gotta go back up.
You go. Okay, buddy.
There's a fire in the Shamrock. Come fly with me, we'll fly. How about you doing, Tom? Come fly with me, we'll burn down the chimney. Get a lot of land, there's a real nice man. Get to his feet. Come fly with me, we'll float down the river. When I get you up, well, the air is so rather cold. We're gonna fly slowly on. When I get you up to Cleveland, Ohio, Jimmy Gerard's right here. You might even hear angels cheer, 'cause we're together. But wow, such a beautiful day. Say the word, Buffalo, New York, Penny Scandal. Can we say that? You're not hiding out, are you? Come on, fly with me. Come fly with me. Pack up. Let's fly away. Here's your Cleveland, raise your hand. You're not hiding out still, are you? Summer wind, going in. Now look, what do you want? I was talking back there for 2 hours. Finger that touch your head. Walk with me all summer long. We sang a song and then we strolled that golden sound to a sweetheart's and the summer wind. Hold on, wait a minute, there ain't no dancing here. There's no dancing. Like did it pass the days. they went flying by. World was new beneath that blue umbrella sky, softer than a Bible man. One day it called to you, and I lost you to the soul. Now we got a great band here. This guy Billy, been with me for 35 years. Billy Owen on the guitar. We got Michael Shane on the keyboards. Tom Sanfilippo is sick tonight, so we're going. Michael Shane. The autumn wind and the winter wind, they've come and gone. But still, those nights, the lonely nights, they go on and on and on. Guess who sighs and lullabies on nights that never end? Now that's my fickle friend, the summer wind. Love that pretty New York City girl. It's one of our girl about hello baby. New York City girl. It's the fun you have in a taxi cab that my love won't occur. When he dropped you off and he's steady girl. When you look in the dictionary under Italian, this is the face you see right here. And listen, when you want to get your car out of the parking lot, you gotta see Johnny, okay? Give him a nice round of applause, Johnny. I met him at the Sands Hotel. And the story of the really like the Broadway show. And they like you were the star. When did you cause you're a native New Yorker and a real corker. You should know by now. You're a native New Yorker. You're a native New Yorker. Can't we hire guys like this? Sweet man. No wonder my happy heart sings. The love has given me wings. We'll be like birds of a feather, rainbow together will come. No wonder my happy heart sings. The love has given me wings. No wonder my happy heart sings. The love has given me wings. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loves me. Mr. Peaceful, Mr. Happy, that's what I want to be. this time all the odds are in my favor. Something's bound to begin. It's gotta happen sometime. Maybe this time. Tell me, maybe this time. Make mine. Tell me, down and down I go, round and round I go, and I spin, oh you spin on me, all of the old black magic. This is real Vegas music, right here. I should stay away. What can I do? I see the face of a flame, flame with burning desire. Only a kiss, put out that fire. Now you're the lover, I've waited for. You're the maid God and me created for. Every time you must make mine. Tell me, down and down I go. Round and round I go, let me spin on it. There's a song I recorded back in Cleveland, Ohio. It's a song called All I Have to Give. And it was written by Nick Cornell. And they still play it on some of the stations back there. And see if you remember, see if you like this. If I were Byron or Diane, I'd try to capture upon your grace. If I were Rembrandt or Suzanne, I'd be content to paint your lovely face. Were I to have the touch of Michelangelo, you'd be the greatest work of art the world would know. Make me a Gershwin if you can. You're my newest rhapsody in blue. Imagine me, the great Chopin. Suddenly the symphony is you. But I don't possess the gifts I'm speaking of. There's a promise I can make. Oh, not so far. As long as life will let me live, I'll give you all I have to give. My love. Make me a Gershwin if you can. You're my newest rhapsody in blue. Imagine me the great Chopin. Suddenly this symphony is you. But I don't possess the gifts I'm speaking of. There's a promise I can make. As long as life will let me live, I'll give you all I have to give. My love. Are you ready? That's the
walk down the street with the cloud at your feet, that's amore. Bells will ring, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. You sing beat-a-la-la. Stars will play the I can get it on their own. When the moon starts to droop, just like Pasha-Bazoo, that's amore. When you walk down the street with a cloud at your feet, you're alive. When you walk in the breeze, you know you're not dreaming. Signore, excuse me, but you see, back alone, I believe, that's amore. That's amore. And you say beat-a-la-la. Stars will play the when the moment starts to droop, just like Pasha-Bazoo, that's amore. When you walk down the street with a cloud at your feet, you're alone. When you walk in the breeze, but you know you're not dreaming. Signore, scusa me, but you see, back alone, I believe, that's amore, that's amore, that's amore. They don't even do this in Cleveland no more. I'll use that stuff to write out love you, write out love you 1,000 times across the sky.
One thing isn't better than my love.
Jimmy,
Should the teacher stand so near my love?
should the teacher stand so near my love?
To almost hear my teach me the sky's a blackboard. I love you, I love you. Should a shooting star go by? I'll use that star to love you 1,000 times across the sky. When they hit very should the teacher stand so near? It's almost here.
Come on, Mike, sing.
Won't you teach me? Come on and teach me tonight.
Teach me tonight. Come on and teach me tonight. Teach me tonight. like a shame when I was growing up. CKLW. This one's for Sam Maluso, Tony Maluso, Sam Lombardo, Arnold Tiffy, Murph Stefano. Come on. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah. This was for Joey Sigliano, the Trenco, John DeKirk, Jeff Gould, Tom Sanfilippo. I gotta be all the richest, baby. One man can play. Come on, girls, give me a little room. You say can make me feel this way, my girl. suburb of Cleveland. You got a smile so bright. I'm holding you good in the candle. I'm holding you so tight. I know you good than a handle. Please slip me off my feet. I know you good than a handle. And honey, you smell so sweet. Could have been the perfume. You're the only one that got that. And I can tell the way you do the things you do. Oh, baby. Yeah. Well, as pretty as you are, I know you could have been a flower. Your Jerry, good looks was a minute. Jerry, if good looks was a minute, you could be an hour. Please don't lie. Could have been a fool crop. And only you're so smart. Could have been a school bus. The way you do the things you do. Give these guys a nice round of applause. Billy Dale, man. First of all, the way you do the things you do. Clubs like this in Cleveland, do they no more? They won't make the comeback. Everybody, she's a great house. She's mighty, mighty. She like it all hang out. She's a great house. She's the one, only one, built like an Amazon. Clothes she wears in a sexy way. Make an older man think of younger days. You know she's got everything she needs. Just like when the young man walked through me, Lord, she's a great house. She's mighty, mighty. She'll let me know, man, but she's a great house. She's the one, only one, built like an Amazon. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet, jingle all around the clock. Big sentimental and jingle and beat, that's the jingle bell rock. What a right time, it's the right time to rock the night. Jingle bell time is the swell time. Well, thank you. One horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet, jingle all around the clock. That's the jingle bell rock. Here we are, like in olden days. Happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are near to us, maybe dear to us, near to us once more. In the years we all will be together. In the days we're all. From now on, we'll hang a star on the highest bar. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. May the Yuletide bright troubles will be out of sight.
Out of sight.
I don't have to do this because you're not going to do it. Here we are, as an olden day.
Happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who were dear to us, gather near to us once more. Someday soon,
Through the years we all will be together.
if the fates allow, take the big one.
And a shining star above the highest bough.
And have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Get up, all those forget-me nots.
Make me feel so young. You make me feel there are songs to be sung, bells to be rung, wonderful things to be fun. And even when I'm old and gray,
You're not old and gray.
I'm gonna feel the way I do today. Come, you make me feel so. You make me feel so. You make me feel so young.
You look young. Girl, I know you very well. See you never really know. I'm gonna take my breath away. Suddenly you're in line. All the very thing I do, you got me working day and night. Trying to keep on. Here it comes, another very I need a chance to have the most. Everybody, they love a winner, but nobody loves me. Mr. Peaceful, Mr. Happy, that's what I love to be. Now all the outside, they're in my favor. Something's bound to begin. It's gotta happen. And then sometime, maybe this time, maybe this time. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you.
Let's keep this party polite. Yeah, man. Never get out of my sight.
You gotta be.
Stick with me, baby. I'm the guy that you came in with.
made a stooge out of me. Stick with me, baby. I'm the guy that you came in with.
But you lady, but you lady,
Smile.
but you lady,
That's when I'll discover that revenge is sweet.
as I sit there wanting from that front row seat, when somebody breaks your heart like you.
When somebody breaks your heart like you broke mine.
I love Jerry Tiffe. Oh yeah.
Tell me, do you have a favorite song?
Dream Lover.
Dream Lover. Every night I walk away. Dream Lover, come my way. Girl, I hold in my arms. Know the magic of the charms. 'Cause I want a girl to guard my own. I want a dream lover, so I don't have to dream alone. Dream lover, where are you? With a love that's so true. My hand I can hold, feel there when I get cold. I want a girl to call my own. I want a dream lover, so I don't have to dream alone. Someday I don't know where, I know she'll hear my plea. Some way I don't know where, she'll bring her love to me. Yeah. Dream love until then, I'll go to sleep and dream again. That's the only thing to do, to make my dreams of love come true. 'Cause I want a girl to call my own. I want a dream love, so I don't have to dream alone. Give me up there. Dream love until then, I'll go to sleep and dream again. That's the only thing to do, so my dreams of love come true. 'Cause I want a girl to call my own. I want a dream lover, so I don't have to dream alone. Please don't make me dream alone. I don't want to dream alone. Somewhere, tell me, you remember? Beyond the sea, she's there, waiting just for me. If I could fly like a bird up high, straight to her arms, I'd go sailing. It's far beyond the stars, it's near beyond the moon. Beyond that shore, we'll kiss just like before. Happy we'll be beyond the sea. Me and we, never again. I'll go sailing. Yeah, we'll meet at your knees. Beyond that shore, we'll kiss just like before. Happy we will be beyond the sea, and never again I'll be sailing. sailing, so sailing. In the living year, moments of paper filled with perfect thought, still a conversation. I'm afraid that's all we got. I say I just don't see. He says it's perfect sense. We just can't get agreement. In this present tense, we both talk a different language, talking and we fail. I need your help. Sing aloud, sing it again. You can listen as well as you need. So we open up the door between the present and the past. We only sacrifice the future. It's the bitterness that lasts. So no use of the boxes. Sometimes steal the day. They have a new perspective on a different day. And if you don't give up, you don't give in, it'll just be okay. Everybody sing. I wasn't there that morning when my father passed away. I didn't get to tell him all the many things I had to say, but I think I caught his spirit later that same year. I think I heard his echo in my baby's newborn tears. I wish I could have told in the living years. Come on, girls, sing it. time. Oh, the shark bait has substituted, and it shows
Pretty
the
good for our age, though.
pearly white.
Yeah, right.
Just a jackknife has old Thomas made, and it keeps that life. He's from Cleveland, he carries a knife out of sight. When the shark bites with his teeth there, scallop billows, they stop to spread. Fancy gloves, old Gucci gloves was old Jackie Faye. So that never a trace of red. Yes, Sunday morning, down by the river, there's a body just oozing life.
Yeah, we're all one big happy family.
Somebody speaking, who knows, peeking round the corner. Put that somebody on that corner. Did you hear about Willie Boy? He disappeared, they